Hi, this is Ms. Robinson. Today we're going to learn how to create a Google document using Google Drive. So the first thing you need to do is create a Gmail account. So I've seen many students using Gmail in school, using Google Docs to write essays or presentations. So hopefully you already have a Gmail account, but if not, it's easy to sign up. Okay, so once you do that, you're going to sign in with your username and password. So you can sign in. And then what you're going to do is you're going to look up here, the tabs on the top, and you can see next to Gmail that's highlighted, there's Drive. So you need to click on Drive. And what you're going to do is we're going to create. So there are a couple of things you could create: a folder, a document, presentation, spreadsheet, form, drawing. Today what you're going to be doing is creating a practice quiz. So you're going to click on Form. And then here, you're going to choose a title and a theme. So first we can choose a theme. So usually I just use the default, but if there's one that you like here, you can scroll down. You can use another one instead. Okay, so there are lots of options there. I'm just going to go with the default because it's easier. Then what I'm going to do is go up here where it says Untitled Form, and I'm going to label this. So I'm going to call this Sample Practice Quiz by Miss Robinson. Okay, so what you're going to be doing is you're going to be creating a quiz based on the material we've learned in class so far. So you can use anything we've used in class up to this point, and you're going to create a quiz that other students in your class are going to take. So this is going to be a good way for you to study by going back in your notes and finding questions to ask each other, but also to challenge each other to see what knowledge you have. Okay, so you can ask a question based on anything we've done so far. One that is popping up in my head right now is we could say, we've talked about polygons in class. So one question we could say is, how many sides does a pentagon have? Okay, and hopefully you've learned in class up to this point or in your other classes that a pentagon has 5 sides. And right here, there are a couple of different ways you can respond. You can have the people taking the quiz respond. Right now I have it on multiple choice. So usually with quizzes or tests or with the MCAS, you usually get 4 options. So we'll keep it to 4 because that's usually pretty consistent. So we need to make sure we have 5 as one of our answers, and you can write in any other answers you want. Okay, and you can go out of order however you like. So let's say, maybe I'll say, someone might think there's 6 sides in a pentagon. Someone might think, oh, maybe there are 8 sides. You can click here, and then I'll put the answer in here, 5. And who knows, maybe another person thinks there are 4. Okay, so as long as you have one of those is the correct answer, you're good. And sometimes it's good to switch it up. You don't want to have it first every time or last. Sometimes putting the correct answer in a different order is helpful. Okay, so that question's good. We'll label it number 1. And then I want you to have 10 questions. Okay, so you can come down here, and for your second, we're going to add an item. And this one, I'm going to make it a little different. Instead of multiple choice, I'm going to say choose from the list. So it's still similar to multiple choice, but there's going to be a drop-down list that people have to choose from. And we're still going to do 4 options. So let's come up with another question. We could say for 2, we could have someone solve an equation. So we could say solve for x in the following equation. And I'm just going to make up an equation right now. Let's say 2x plus 6 equals 18. Alright, so if you solve this, you'd have to do first minus 6 from both sides, and 18 minus 6 is 12. And then what you'd have to do is divide 12 by that 2 that's in front of the x. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. So the answer to this question is 6. So we need to make sure we have the answer in here somewhere. Maybe this time I'll make it option 2. So I'll have 6 here. Okay, so I just need to put in some other answers that might seem correct. I could see a common error. People might add 6 to both sides rather than subtracting 6, which is what you're supposed to do. But if you added 6, you would get 24. And then if you divided 24 by 2, you get 12. So 12 might be a mistake that people make. And then for these others, I'll just make up some random answers. Maybe 8, we could say here, maybe 2. Okay? So as long as you have some plausible answers, it's fine. Okay? You don't want to make it too obvious. Okay? We'll do one more add. So there are other ways you can do this. You can do a paragraph, so you could have like a word problem and have people solve that through paragraph form. The only thing with that is a little bit harder to grade, obviously, because it's not just one correct answer. You'd have to go through and actually read it and then grade it. The multiple choice, which we already did. There's a checkbox, which I think is just whoever taking the quiz would just check off the right answer. So let's do that. We'll do a checkbox. Okay, so now we need to come up with another question. So for our third question, we could ask a little bit of vocabulary. So we could say, question 3, what do you call 2 lines that never cross or intersect, that never intersect? Okay, and hopefully you know the answer to this is they would be called parallel lines. So I just need to have parallel in my answers somewhere here. I could see someone confusing parallel with perpendicular, which means 2 lines that intersect at a right angle. So we could say perpendicular is one of our options. I'll just make up some answers here. Maybe straight line, whoops, perpendicular lines, and then let's say straight lines. Maybe someone might think it's intersecting lines. And the last one will have the correct answer is parallel lines. Alright, so we have 3 questions. I want you to come up with 10 questions, but we'll just do 3 for now so I can show you how to do this. Alright, so I can hit done. And I can just review, just look over what I've done. So how many sides does a pentagon have? Good, we have the answer in there. Solve for x in the following equation. We can see how the answers look. Okay, good, so we needed to have 6 as an answer, we have it in there. And then what do you call 2 lines that never intersect? And those are called parallel lines. Okay, looks good. So the next thing we're going to do is we need to share this. So we're going to go to send form. Okay, so we're going to send the form. Before we do that, I just forgot to show you one thing. So if you want to, you can always go back to view the live form. So you can see what it's going to look like to other people who want to take this quiz. So you can click on view live form, and this is what it's going to look like when someone else takes it. Okay, so when they take it, hopefully they'll know that's 5 there. Solve for x in the following equation. That's going to be 6. What do you call 2 lines that never intersect? Parallel lines. And then you would submit it. Okay, and then that's how you would take the quiz. So for now, we need to send the form. And for now, you're going to send it to me. And once we figure out who will be taking your quiz, you can just send it to them, which might be a little bit easier. So we can either use this email address, or in class I might give you a different email address, so katie.m.robinson@gmail.com, and then you just send it. And that invites that person. So in this case it's me actually, but it's usually a different person. Okay, and then you can figure out how you're going to choose your response destination. So we'll just say a new spreadsheet and click create. Alright, and then after you create your quiz and other people start taking it, you can go up here and you can view responses. So you can see how people have responded. So what happens here, so because I went and I took the quiz, the live form, you can see, you'll be able to quickly look and see how everyone responded. And it makes it very easy to grade it as well. Okay? And you can always share it. If you're collaborating with someone else, you're creating one together, you can share it with one another. That's an easy way to do that. Okay, so that's a way to create a Google document. In this case, it was a form, which you might not have done before. And hopefully you'll enjoy doing this in class and taking each other's quizzes. And it'll be a good way to study for upcoming quizzes and tests, and it'll count as a project grade. Okay, so always make sure to sign out. So you're going to quit. Well, we can sign out here actually. Sign out. Good, and then you can always leave your browser as well. Okay, so make sure to ask me if you have any other questions, and good luck.